wait for some people to get in here, and then I'll take some more questions. This fucking page is so crazy, man. You guys are wild. There we go. Some people are showing up now. Wait to get some people in here and start fucking shooting off questions, guys. I got Uncle Adam stories for days. What's up, Mitch? So I'll give a little bit of thanks, man. Thanks, Mitch. I'll give a little bit of backstory here. Our beef, mine and Uncle Adam's beef, got so crazy in Regina that the cops got so many phone calls about us that they said to us, like, if you guys keep this up, if we get one more phone call, you're both going to jail. Curtis might be like really goofy and shit, but his friends that he grew up with, a lot of them are like, they were just like crazy. Regina's a really violent place, right? Like, people don't got a lot to do. It's a bunch of angry rednecks and, you know, people who just love to fight, love to scrap, they love to see blood. Life is boring out there. There's not a lot to do. So when me and him went our separate ways, it was kind of ugly, and you know, he had a lot of people that were just willing to fuck me up. They were at my house breaking my windows, yelling and shit. My roommate had to call the cops because there'd be like 10, 15 dudes outside my house. Some of my buddies got beat up. They would be at my house when I wouldn't be at my house. Guys would be at my house and goons would fucking just drag them outside and kick their ass. It's crazy. That's UNK, man. That was UNK. He had people. I mean, in the current year now, right, it's all about positivity and love, right? But I think he's maybe trying to atone for how much of a piece of shit he really was. And I don't really hand that label out loosely, but shit was bad. So here's the story. Now we got 30 people in here. I'll tell the story. When I first met Uncle Adams, yeah, he had people. It's crazy. When I first met Uncle Adams, it was at a rap battle in Regina. I have met his mom. She's a really nice lady. She loves him very much. What happened to all the people associated with Uncle Adams? I don't know. I imagine a lot of them were just like, fuck this is getting way too cheesy. The original nephews were goons, dude. They were. The original nephews were goons, dude. And he is the Goblin King. Okay, so when I first met Uncle Adams, it was at a rap battle in Regina. He was battling a dude named Russ Ill. And you know, I was late to the battle. I was supposed to enter. I had like just started rapping at the time. I was like 19 or something. So signed up for the battle. I was late. I didn't get to battle, but I watched him battle. And he went against a guy named Russ Ill. And after that happened, I was like, oh, this dude's really dope, right? You know, like he's actually a really good freestyler. So yeah, I love how quickly you've caught on to the lore. Oh yes, I'm a memer myself, so I understand these things and how epic they can get, you know. And just glad I can shine some light on more of the lore that is Uncle Adams. So what I was saying is, I eventually met up with Uncle Adams in person. I was like, yo, I seen you at that battle. You're really dope. Here's some of my raps, you know. I'll definitely get to that line. I'll get to why he turned on us. Does he eat the beer? Okay. I gotta fucking stay focused here. You guys are so wild and distracting. So we ended up forming a rap group together, me and him. We spit some freeze together. He liked my shit. I thought he was like just amazing because I was so new to rap. And do you think UNK doesn't understand anything about the internet? Yes, I do. I don't think he understands anything about style or like anything like that. Like, he just doesn't get it. He's not a he's not like a very socially conscious person. But so, despite what he tries to come off like, I mean, he's wearing visors in music videos and shit in the current year. You can see how out of touch he is. I do have some of our group's old songs, yes I do, and I'll try and post them as soon as I can get a hold of them. They're sitting around somewhere. I think that there's some in Regina at some people's houses I know, so I'll get a hold of them for you. So me and yeah, me and UNK formed a group. Me, him, and a dude named Chico, who I'm sure you guys have heard of. He was the third member of Energetic MCs, or E Squared. Eventually, UNK decided he didn't want to rap with Chico anymore, and it was just me and UNK, and we actually formed a group called Speech Therapy, and it was two of us, Speech Therapy, UNK and Spyte. And we did like probably 10 tracks together. We were going to release an album. And I don't know really what happened. It was just kind of like we used to party a lot together. Like we really used to fucking party a lot. And he'd get so crazy, man. Chico is Brendan Cifuentes. You could get him. I think he's part of this group. Chico, yeah. So we used to party a lot, dude, and like there was a lot of drama, a lot of fights that would happen, like just because we were at parties and it was Regina. Yo, cheers, Dylan. Fucking fist bumps through the screen, bro. So he was a crazy alcoholic, yo. Like he would fucking drink. This dude would drink like crazy. He'd like in Regina, I don't know if you know this, but liquor stores are open till like 4 a.m. and then they close and they open again at 6 a.m. And UNK would be there for 4 a.m. grabbing Lucky Loggers. Like he just did not stop, dude. And he'd get really loud and really crazy and really belligerent and wild. And he'd like jump out of the car and start like kiki dancing beside the car before that was actually a thing. And just doing laps around my car and shit. And he'd always bug me to drive and always want me to drive drunk and shit. And he had this purple Presidia with a fucking Decepticon sticker on the back. And he would not, no, he didn't do drugs. That's what's so crazy. He didn't even like, I never even saw him do coke or anything. He was just a wild man. Just crazy off the booze. And what was I saying? Yeah, he'd always want me to drive because he wouldn't drive his purple Presidia. So I was like always getting pressured into like drunk driving like 10 people around in my car. But I was like a pushover at the time, so it was like whatever, you know. This is the Dark UNK stories. Yes, this was Dark UNK. He was like super belligerent, super off the chain, and this is like early 2000s. Nobody was PC. Like everybody was super belligerent and saying just like stuff that would drive people insane nowadays, and that was like the normal. But yeah, put the keys down. No one's out. Yeah, UNK invented the Kiki challenge for real. He would run down the street yelling crazy shit. Okay, one time, the first time I got really belligerent with him, I met up with him at a party. I mean, at one of the bars on Dudney, because there's a strip in Regina called Dudney, and there's a bunch of bars up and down it. And I was at one of those bars. I ran into him. I was getting kicked out, or just not let in, because I was too drunk, while he was getting kicked out. So we started walking, just wandering, and just drunk, like flailing, like 19 years old, just going insane, in the hood in Regina, like the hood of Canada, pretty much. And he starts like kicking people's fence boards in, getting crazy, kicking in fence boards, drinking. UNK definitely dropped some N-bombs in his time. Oh yeah. He comes across this like homeless, drunk native dude at McDonald's. He's like, hey man, let's go fucking rob Whitey. He's like shaking the dude's shirt, like let's go rob Whitey. It was madness. Actually, no, it wasn't the pump. It was Gabos. So, like, yeah, he'd drop N-bombs and all sorts of things, but this is like the early 2000s, and not a lot of people really gave it a second look. What else? So we had this rap group, we partied a lot, he was always being belligerent, and you can imagine how many scenarios we got into where I had to fucking help Uncle Adams out. I could get into the Uncle Adams cuck story, but that might be for another time. Yes, hard R, bro. So, one day out of nowhere, he's like, I'm just doing a live stream right now about Uncle Adams.
Okay,
so there's 100 people in here.
But I want to know.
What? You want to know the things? I'll tell you after this.
Okay.
My girl just got home from work, and like, she saw the buzz about this Uncle Adams thing. Who's that?
Haley.
Oh. So she was calling me all day like, yo, do you know there's like a diss song about you on YouTube and it's really weird? So anyways, people did, but not like, it wasn't like a complete social no-no at the time. People get drunk and they just say it. They'd say it like in replacement of a fucking curse word. Like, I'm talking about small town Regina. There's a lot of like redneck white people there. It was fucking retarded. There's probably like 7 black people in the whole city. So, you know what I'm saying? Bring your pregnant girlfriend here. We love her. I do treat my woman right. Everybody's saying hi, Mrs. Spyte. Okay, you guys want to know the cuck story? Okay, fine. Here it is. One time we were at a garage. We were at a garage party, and there was this girl there that UNK kind of liked. And they were like kind of dating or whatever. And she starts getting like really drunk and crazy. And she's like pulling her boobs out. And my buddy Brendan like dumped a beer on her boobs. And she was like into it. Like, it was really fucked up. This girl, someone should have drove her home long ago. And eventually I'm driving everybody home, and she's in the back seat of my car, and she just pulls her tits out, and there's like 3 dudes back there with Uncle Adams, and they're fucking putting their hands on her titties like right in front of her, and he's not like doing anything about it. He's like also grabbing boob. So there's like multiple guys grabbing this girl's boobs, and she's like, yeah, fucking, you like those, grab them. Very belligerent, absolute degeneracy. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, it was dark, bro. So I ended up fucking dropping them off. And this is, looking back, I feel bad that I dropped this girl off with Uncle Adams at their house. But yeah, he ended up taking her home. And at one point in the night, we went into a Shell gas station. And there's this big fat rapper dude named Chance One. And story goes that they went into the bathroom together. And she performed fellatio on him. And he, when she got back in the car, her and Uncle Adams, yeah, they were kissing. So there's that. I should feel bad, but she did seem to be happy. So I don't know, man. I dropped him off, and he's like making out with her, and there's like Chance One dick all in her mouth, and it was fucked up. And anyways, that was absolute belligerency. Oh my god. Absolutely. Hey, watch out, Dan. I got zucked for doing that. With the at and 2 B's even. And then the 0 and the T. And they still zucked me for 30 days. So watch out, man. Why are you an alt-right troll? I think that that's a subjective term. Okay, so Unc one day decides that he doesn't want me in the rap group anymore. I didn't know why, but he just did. And he starts being like, yeah, bro, like, you know, we just don't rap about the same things, and you're just too negative. I think this is when he first started deciding to do the positive raps, the HIV positive raps. And he kicks me out of the group, and I was really pissed off, so I started going, no, I'm not a goblin. Uncle Adams is definitely a goblin, though, and when he gets like blacked out drunk, he goes into full goblin form, and it's fucking epic, dude. It's crazy. It's like some Schmeagol shit. It's crazy. Anyways, he kicks me out of the group. I'm pissed off about it. I go to a party. Him and some buddies show up at the party, and they're shit talking me from like the bottom of the stairs. This is me talking about the dark UNK days, by the way. Was there worse stuff than Booze Tune? Booze Tune was like, I cringed back then. I was like, this is straight about anal rape, fam. This is crazy. And yeah, that might have been the darkest one. And it's like he didn't realize how dark it was. It's like, oh yeah, fuck him in the ass without even asking. Like that's funny or something? I don't know, man. That wasn't funny then. It's not funny in the current year, definitely. So Goblin confirmed, yes. Kicks me out of the rap group, right? And trust me, bro, I gotta keep my wife on a chain so she doesn't go leave me for Uncle Adams too. It's crazy. So, what is this? Anyways, what the hell is this? So he, his latest song is about giving all his money away and ruining his life. I think, yeah, that's the true story. Could you please save this when you're done? I don't want to miss anything. You got it, man. So, did Dark Unk become Trap Unk when he robbed my studio? Maybe, for a minute. Maybe. So, he kicks me out of the group. I'm pissed off about it. I go to a party. He shows up with his buddies. They're shit talking me from the bottom of the stairs. I'm with my buddies, so I'm not having it. I'm like, fuck you. They go outside. I follow them outside. I'm like, what's up, you little bitch? And I took a swing on him. But I was drunk, and he was relatively sober, and he moved. I know, it's a big surprise, right? He had just gotten to the party. He had just got off of work or something. He used to work at fuck, what the fuck's it called? It was a grocery store in Regina. It'll come to me. Anyways, he shows up from after work. I go downstairs. I'm like, fuck you. I take a swing at him. He moves backwards. I miss him. And his buddies grab him, and my buddies get in between and grab me, and they're like, no, it's not worth it, you know? Whatever. So I think we're going to end up talking this out, right? But no, the next day is fucking, every word of this is true. Right? That's when that song came out. And my buddies showed me, and I was just like, what the fuck? And I was just mind boggled about it. So I immediately responded with a diss track, which I'll try and find and I'll post for you guys eventually. And mine wasn't like as like ruthless. Like, this motherfucker's like making fun of me for like being adopted and having back surgery when I was a kid. Like, these are things that I have no control over. You might as well make fun of somebody for the color of their skin or something. It's just as fucking slimy. It's just stupid. Like, it's retarded. It's retarded. Anyways, not for me to I'm not being ableist, okay? I'm using retarded in the pre-2015 sense. Anyways, I just know that there's some perpetually offended people in this group, and I'm not trying to like trigger anybody or anything. So the diss track, I released the diss track, he released the diss track. People said mine was better, but his was more vicious. Whatever. So, you know, he really didn't like that diss track that he got, and he convinced his ex-girlfriend, Bobby Joe. I lived with her sister. Okay? And he convinced Bobby to convince his sister, or her sister, to kick me out of the house. So I'm like, fuck it. Yes, I am the Slipknot dude, yes. Is Unks famous in Regina? I don't know, maybe infamous. Would you battle Unk if Sparka arranged it and there was money involved? Oh, probably, if there was money involved. I think he could use the money, so yeah. You're an edgy centrist. Stick to the Unk lore. I barely even said anything. Oh my god. I'm not getting roped into some political discussion, but like, that kind of perpetual outrage isn't doing anybody any good. Anyways, so where was I? I get kicked out of the house, right? And he had seen me in situations where I'd been homeless before. That's why he called me homeless in the rap song. I was out on my own when I was like 15, so I had been homeless many times between 15 and like when I was like 20 or 21 or something, maybe 22. There sure is, Steve. My goodness. Like, save your sanctimonious nonsense for some woke page where you'll get fucking brownie points for it. Anyways. Oh, fuck, I keep losing my place because of this distractions. Yes, I heard about James Alsop in the group. Actually, I was really surprised because I watch a lot of YouTube. It's kind of an addiction for me. I subscribe to hundreds of people. A lot of people I don't even agree with. I just like to watch their content. I saw that James Alsop had Uncle Adam's thing going on. I saw that Chris Ray Gunn also was going hard on trolling him. Chris Ray Gunn actually had Uncle Adams on his show, so you can see that interview on YouTube. Just type in Chris Ray Gunn, Uncle Adams, and you'll see all the fucking content of that. How much for the couch? Very nice. I love the live couch trolling pages too. But yeah, so I was kicked out of the group, blah, blah, the diss tracks, blah, 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 making fun of me for being homeless, blah, blah, blah. Now it was time for me to be homeless again. So I was homeless again because he convinced his girlfriend's sister to kick me out of the house. We lived together, right? I left. I was like, whatever, I'll come back and get my shit in the morning. So I left for the night, stayed over at, Chris did. He did interview UNK. It's pretty crazy. He was on, I think he might be on someone else's channel though, but you can find it by typing in Chris Ray Gun, Uncle Adams. So that next morning, after I left that girl's house, I got a phone call from my ex-girlfriend at the time, who was best friends with his girlfriend. Well, she was my girlfriend at the time, but ex-girlfriend now, obviously, who was friends with his girlfriend at the time. Her name was Bobby Joe, and she was alright. Like, she's a sweet girl, kind of. I don't know. A lot of people are just trying to, like, fit in Regina, so they'll do, like, evil things and act like crazy people, but you don't know if they're actually that way or if they're just in Regina and trying to, like, have friends. I don't know. A lot of people are really negative and take negative things as, like, social clout over there, and, like, violence and stupidity and mob tactics and stuff like that. There's a real, like, mob mentality, pitchfork mob mentality going on out there. So that's how he was able to get so many people against me, because it was literally like a fucking pitchfork mob was out for my fucking blood. And as soon as I was gone from the house, that's when that night everybody went to my house, Uncle Adams and his homies. They smashed up my studio equipment, smashed up my computer, stole my hard drives, stole my mic, used my mic stand to break all my shit, took my monitor, took my speakers, pissed on my bed, took my clothes, took my shoes, took all my posters, fucking all sorts of shit, man. It was crazy. And they didn't fuck up her infrastructure of the house, you know, because it was all, like, directed to me, and she facilitated it, and he led the fucking circus of doing that. And people to this day are still, like, they still think about it, because the last time I was in Regina, a couple of the guys who were involved in that, I went to a bar and they were there, and they came up to me with their bros and they're like, we got a fucking problem, dude, we got a problem. And this is like, I'm like, what, from something that happened like 12 years ago? I barely even recognize you, fuck out of here. Like, good, because we'll fuck you up. And there's like a bunch of them, like, wow, you people never change in this small shithole of a town that I'm so glad I got out of. He was trying to beat me. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the story of him fucking up my shit, and then I fucked off to Vancouver. Was this toxic environment what inspired UNK to make such a motivating pivot to positivity? I think that you're kind of like, yeah, you're kind of right, because like I said earlier, I think he's just trying to, like, atone for his sins of the past, and he thinks that if he virtue signals now, that it will erase his past, like his degenerate past and the evil that he used to perpetrate. Could I take UNK in a fight now? I think that like the 80th percentile of people could take UNK in a fight now. Is UNK a sociopath? Yes, UNK is a sociopath, and he used to project it onto me all the time and call me a sociopath. But, you know, that's kind of how human psychology works. Is it true you're a white supremacist? No, I'm not a white supremacist. And define white supremacist. Hey, shout out Vancouver, we out here. Yeah, Tales from the Pump. There's a lot of Tales from the Pump. Had a trapper movement in his life. Dark UNK almost became 21 UNK. He should become Dark UNK with the X like that. That's sick. That's sick, Andrew. I think anyone could beat UNK in a fight. What's funny is I live in Vancouver too, but I'm in Vancouver, Washington instead. America, there's you. Can you do a quick ranking of every song UNK ever released real quick? Best song UNK ever released was the diss track he made about me. That was the hardest, most slapping shit UNK ever made. I was actually like impressed with like the sonic value of that when I heard it. Has UNK always been a phony? Yeah, he has. Did he ever try and produce for himself? Is why he's so resistant to learn. Because UNK hates change. UNK doesn't like to learn new things, and he doesn't like when people change or learn new things. I shouldn't say doesn't, because I don't know him now, but I can deduct a lot of what's going on there from his oversharing of his life online. UNK has goblin powers. Who was it that originally came to burst the bubble of negativity? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's the bullshit that he did to me and fucking thought about it too much and felt guilty. Because when I came back from Vancouver for the first time, it was like 2007, I went to that bar that, well, I went to one of the bars that we used to perform at. And he was there with a bunch of other rapper people, and I was there with a bunch of goons, and he was there with a bunch of goons, and it was kind of a standoff, like a stalemate, like nothing really happened. But he came up to me and he knew that there was like just wild men brewing on both sides, chomping at it to fight. And he just came up to me and he's like, yo man, I'm really sorry about what happened, man. Like, I just feel so awful, and I want you to know that I was not involved in that whatsoever. But for years later, people kept telling me, yeah, you know that was Curtis, right? You know that was Curtis leading that fucking pack of goons. So, you know, is what it is. UNK drove you out of Regina with his gang of devoted followers? No, I didn't drive me out of Regina. I just fucking had enough of Regina. And I left Regina, and then I came back. And then I left Regina, and then I came back. Nobody's ever driven me out of Regina. Pixar, it didn't happen. He can't even virtue signal, though. He's not good at it. He's not. How tall is UNK? I don't know. He's like 5'7". Does Uncle Adams ever ask for a feature? Yeah, right. Would you ever wear light-up shoes as a 30-something? No, and he used to, well, I guess that's not true. It depends on, like, we're not talking LA lights, but if there's, like, some cool Tron shoes or something that nobody had, I'd rock those. He was wearing wheelies on the Heely wheelies. He was wearing those in his, like, mid-20s, and everybody thought it was really awkward. Did you really listen to Slipknot? Yes, I did. He won't take any hard stances on anything. Yeah, because he's trying to please everybody while simultaneously having the adverse effect on himself. Can you do $1 million impression? I think so. This is a huge moment. Well, let's just say now, Spyte. Now my uncle UNK ain't no longer my uncle. Okay, sorry guys. I'm gonna go to like the newest comments because I'm so behind here. UNK, Manlet confirmed. Spyte versus UNK 306 Battlegrounds. Me and Freeman will pay you guys. Name the price, fly me there and back, or put me up in a hotel. You got it. Have you ever eaten peas in water? What the fuck? 5'7"? I don't know. I just remember him being short. I don't know. I'm only like 6 feet, or maybe like 5'11", 6 feet. And he was, I think, like he's shorter than I am. Like, I remember that. 5'10", maybe he is. I don't know. Could UNK make a beat by himself? I don't think he has a lot of musical ability. Want to make a new UNK diss? I'm thinking about it. Can you please put a shoe on your head really quick? Yeah, Chatelet, bro. Are you sure he's 5'7"? Spyte versus UNK? Oh, I'm going backwards now. What's with UNK's P-warder? Put your shoe on your head super quick, bro. Like, just do it for autism. Was it Cletus that did the main damage in the gang? Yeah, Cletus was the hardest. He was the hardest motherfucker out there, man. Straight up. So, that was really my last contact with Uncle Adams, was when I came back to Regina in 2007, and that whole, like, I'm sorry, I didn't have anything to do with it, just to try and make sure that a bunch of guys didn't kill each other that night. And, you know, at some point in time, I don't remember when it was, but like a bunch of his buddies surrounded me outside the bar and like punched me in the face. And that didn't do much. They all like ran off after. I don't know, there was that too. But I lost contact with him after that, never really heard from him. I steadily saw him getting more and more insane online, and when I was doing KOTD, I heard that he was a little bit bitter about that. I never got any sort of like message from him when that battle went viral with Thesaurus and Immaculate, and I was getting messages from everybody, by like even people I'd beefed with back in the day, but he's like the one person that never ever got at me again. UNK posted on an Insta story of him eating peas and water, saying his girlfriend made it. What the fuck? Well, hey man, you know, I mean, if she tolerates him, he'll tolerate the peas and water, you know what I'm saying? Cletus is the last surviving member of Hitler's youth. Oh my god. Well, I don't know. Hey Alex,
Yeah.
was your grandma actually in it?
Oh man, were both in the war.
Were they youth though? Were they Hitler youth?
No, they fought for Germany.
Oh.
It's the story they told me.
I heard somewhere down the grapevine that my girlfriend's grandma was a Hitler youth, but she just died not too long ago. She was like 98 years old.
She died at
96, my bad. Where did you and Cletus get your hoods ironed? My god, okay, yeah, the Cletus, KKK, fucking white people, racism, I get it. You guys should box like Logan Paul on KSI, honestly, any day, name the time and place. Canonically. This is true canon. This is all canon of the lore, dude. There's this photo of him on Insta about to go down on some peas and water. Yeah. Was Booze Tune before or after Hey Faggot? Booze Tune was before, I think. Okay, Booze Tune. I'm gonna track it down. There's a lot of people that used to hang around us, and I know some of them have old CDs and shit. There's like, okay, so there's a rapper named Mystic, Mystik. You can find him on SoundClick, not SoundCloud. This is what we used back in the day. I wonder if the speech therapy SoundClick is still around. Any of you weaponized autists out there, if you can track down the Mystic Rappa, R-A-P-P-A, SoundClick page, you can find some Uncle Adam stuff on there, and you can also, if you go hard enough on the internet with your super powers, you can find find the speech therapy SoundClick page as well as the old Spyte SoundClick page, which would have songs of me and him on it. I'll try and find it. Who knows if it still exists. And Booze Tune used to be on his SoundClick, but he got rid of that shit. That had the Spyte disc, like everything on there. If someone can use like the archived internet or whatever the fuck, like I'm not a like nerd like that. I'm a nerd, but not like that. I don't really know, but I know there's like people find shit that's been deleted off the internet all the time and like dox people with it and whatever. But so I'm sure somebody can find something. Like you guys found the 30-second clip of Booze Tune on, what was that, the Chinese mirror web? I'm sure you'll find something. There's a bit of information for you to go off of there. How much have you studied up on since you've been pulled into this mad world? How much have you studied up on more since you've been pulled into this mad world? Oh, of Uncle Adam's? Well, I kind of like once over the page to get a vibe for what was going on here, and I love how it's like Uncle Adam's is a living meme. It's just amazing. It's so crazy how things come full circle, and like the internet does not forget. Like 15 years almost is what we're talking here. Like that's a long time. I'm sitting at the airport because my flight is delayed, and this is keeping me going. Thank you, Spyte. You're welcome, bro. Chris. Unk is the new Chris Chan. Were you really goth, or was Unk just trying to slander? I wouldn't say I was goth. I was like really heavy metal influenced. I used to wear a lot of like heavy metal t-shirts and like 10 chains at once, but now that's like kind of what like a lot of these fucking edgy rappers are doing, so I don't know what to tell you. I liked Slipknot and like Sepultura and shit like that. I guess he couldn't handle the cross-genre thing. What did you do to make Unk dislike you so much? Be honest, please. It was just that whole beef and the way it degenerated. And there was a lot of mob mentality going on. And at one time I made a joke about touching his girlfriend's boobs because she had really big boobs, and he got really mad about that, and that was a big turning point for our friendship, I think. And what else? There was an incident on a back road where an ex-girlfriend of mine attacked me physically, and I had to physically restrain her. and like hold on to her and like bring her to the ground gently and hold on to her until my friend could come help me get her back in the car, which she refused to do and wanted me to leave her on a back road in the middle of the night. So I drove off and then drove right back, and she was freaking the fuck out, and I got her. And after that, Unc called me a woman beater, and that was also part of our beef because he was dating her best friend. So the description for that diss track, he was like, this song's about a woman beating piece of shit. I've never hit a girl in my life, except in grade 4. I hit a girl named Alicia, because she's following me around going, loser, loser, and I punched her in the face. I'll admit it. I didn't even get in trouble. All the teachers knew she was a little bitch. I'm sorry. We know Mystic. Yeah, John Wright. He's a nice kid. Well, kid, he's fucking older than me, but he's a nice guy. Spell that again. I'm way behind here. Let's try and catch up. Big titty Unc girlfriend. I think Unc will commit suicide after he gets 1 mil into debt. Dark? I think the dude does need help though, because I think he is at risk for suicide. When I had never saw the video of like that compilation someone made until today, but I think it's like brand new, of where it's like him progressively losing more and more money. It's fucking, that's a red flag for Suabongo, that's for sure. Do you think he'll become famous? I think he's already kind of famous. He just doesn't understand how to capitalize on it. Like, if he'd understand he's a living meme and he embraced that, he could make lots of money with YouTube ad revenue. I mean, like, look at all these people who are just listening to me tell this story right now. There's a market there for Uncle Adams. You guys are like his new fan base, and he refuses to accept it, right? He won't even talk to you guys or let you guys hear Boost Tune. He said Unc saw him and claimed the house destroying had nothing to do with it. Oh yeah, you tell the best stories. Thanks. Spell ICUP. Holy shit. Throwback, dude. Throwback. Do you think anyone will ever get through to him? I think he has to hit bottom, and I just hope that there's still people there for him when he does, so he doesn't fucking commit seppuku. What cigarettes do you smoke? Belmonts. These are squished because they're in my pocket. Have you watched the entire At Least a Million series? It's an odyssey. I haven't watched the entire thing, but I've watched a lot of it. I was just like blown away by the top hat video and shit. Like, it's like I just knew he'd lost his marbles, and he's really behind in like fashion and hip hop. Like, any stylistically, I think he's like be a little bit a little unable to grasp that. Like, he's incompetent stylistically. Have you heard of Ligma? Be honest. Ligma balls, bitch! Goblin form confirmed. Pay attention. You dig Nathan for you? What? I don't understand. Have you watched the At Least a Million videos? You should talk to him. I'd love to. He blocked me off everything. See, even you get it. He won't get it. He live streamed a few times and made well over $1,000. We should do that again. Just keep doing that. Hype your track, dropping in 5. If Unc released Boost Tune himself, he could make bank. He could. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's so crazy. Like, he's on such a self-serving ego trip. He's so concerned with being, being who he wants to be, but not embracing who he is. Straight up. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck? Holy fuck. 100 duck-sized horses for sure. Because they don't like jump up and bite and grab and scratch. And just be like, what would they be doing? Kicking? Little kicks. Yo, Spyte, when you coming back to rap game? Bobby Shmurda left the whole main. I know. I've been working on my new dance. I gotta get a dance for these kids to emulate. That's what it's all about. If you don't got a dance, and you don't got face tattoos, and you don't got pink dreads, you're done skis. How has he not hit bottom yet? I don't know. I found a couple of your songs on Mystic SoundClick. Yeah, I used to be that cheesy rapper guy. It's funny because just before I quit, like I'm self-aware enough to know how cheesy my shit sounded for a long time, and slowly started getting better. And just before I quit, it was actually at a point where it was tolerable. But I don't know. I lost the love for it. I moved on to better things. I got a career. I don't know. I still rap from time to time, but I've just learned to accept who I am more than who I want to be, or I want people to perceive me as. And I used to rap kind of just because I think that I wanted people to think I was cool because I rapped. And I had a passion for it, and I loved hip-hop, but I don't know. I just kind of woke up when I turned like 30 and realized I wasn't making a lot of money from this shit, and fans are cool, and, battling's cool and shit, but this isn't about me. This is about Uncle Adams. Can you tell us more about Booze Tune? What's the rest of the song like? It's basically just like a full-on track of anal rape. No, it was just a lot of, from what I remember, it was just like, this rhymes with this, so I'm gonna rhyme that, which is basically like his whole style. And then that was just a hook, and they only said that just because it rhymed, not really thinking about the implications of what they were saying. Good Fight Club reference. You're a man of culture. Unk fell for ICUP on a live stream. Belmonts are $15 in Ontario. Yeah, I got a job. A good job. Can afford the Belmonts. Why do you think Unk won't perform live now? Mental illness. That's why. Would you let Unk crash at your place if he was homeless? Yes. Yes, I would. What do you think Unk would call rock bottom? Because I think any sane person would have called off long ago. No, rock bottom has to be when he goes through the grieving process of realizing that the person he thought he was doesn't exist. Stylistically stuck in the 2000s. Hell yeah. Was Unk smashing the P water back when he was hemorrhaging? No. Never seen him smash P water, dog. Tell us more about Booze Tune. We got Unk with ICP. He dresses like my dad, and he's 60. Yeah, that's stylistically inept, man. Intellectually challenged. Feels like $1 million. Like $1 million. He doesn't have a single ounce of self-awareness in his body. I know, it's sad. But the that's the silver lining of when he hits bottom, is if he can survive it, then he will finally have self-awareness, and it'll open up all sorts of doors for him. And yeah, he'll be like 35, just deciding to put on a tool belt or whatever, but we all gotta wake up eventually, you know? You seem like a pretty chill dude. Thanks for doing this. Thanks, man. I saw someone on here call me a fascist earlier, and that kind of hurt my feelings. I hope you guys don't think I'm a fascist. What other rappers is Unk into? I don't know. I think just like, he was into like really mainstream shit, like Obi Trice and like Eminem and like just like really basic rap. No, it's like, it would have been like Hobson or whatever if he would have been out back then. It was just like really cheesy, like lyrical miracle rappers. You smoking on that Updog, bro? Yeah, bro. Drunk featuring Spyte drops in 5 minutes at facebook.com. Dr. Kunk. What is this? What, you have a song? What? How much do cigarettes cost in Canada? It's like $15 a pack for these things. For Belmonts. Eee. They don't make menthols anymore, and it kills me. He barely knows anyone relevant. 10 behind the rap game. Legitimately pay him. We would legitimately pay him. I'd pay him. I got 100 on it. If everybody in this group even had like $2 on it, and then a couple people had 100 on it, that he needs that in his life. Remember when he showed his bank balance? Like, damn it, $240. That was eloquent, thank you. He's done 2 live streams, made some money. I'm sorry I gotta skip a bunch of comments again, guys, because I'm getting way behind. Unk does love Hobson. Yeah, well, there you go. Marshall Mathers LP 1,000 times. Yeah. He said he got into rap off an Ice Cube CD. I think it was the War Disc too. Who got into rap off the War Disc? And he made fun of me for being into metal. That was like a heavy metal rap mashup. Don't. Top Hat. You can't tell me that Top Hat doesn't go hard. It does. It's definitely worth $10,000. Oof. Asked Hobson for a feature on Twitter. It's funny, you guys, I used to rap with, had multiple features with Hobson, but you gotta pay money. Thoughts on any of the newer metal rap dudes? I haven't heard any metal rap for a long time. But I think that like I think that the like the what did you call it? The fucking I think that rap right now is a little bit metal in a way because they're just going mostly off sonic value and they're going really extreme with their look and doing all sorts of weird shit and just being weirdos. Such a stark contract to UNK streams. He only responds if you pay him. He's like, I only respond to super chats. $10 minimum. Kid punched holes in the wall while listening to M. He was a stan. Okay, do these icons in the corner mean that people are like trying to get in on the stream? Oh yeah, he loves Curtain Call for sure, and he's the newer stuff. 10,000 for a feature. Wow. See, that's that's him having like an inflated self-worth, right? What do you think of Tom McDonald? He's a really hard worker. Have you seen the Mormon guy in this group? Yes, I have. Is UNK known amongst the community? He was known. They wouldn't know about Dark UNK. They'd only know about New Progressive UNK. What's your job now? UNK quit 2 jobs in 2 weeks recently. I'm a wall and ceiling tech. I install walls and ceilings. Framing, drywalling, taping, mudding. Been doing it for like 4 years. Celebrity boxing match between me and UNK. When? Whenever you want. Set it up. We give the money to charity. And we actually do something positive. Show UNK what positivity is all about. Add Hinks to video. I haven't talked to Hinks in a long time. White boy, white boy. Hinks has lots of UNK stories, man. Click accept. It doesn't. I don't have any requests right now, but next time I get one, I'll click accept. When's the last time you put out new music? Just a couple months ago. Oh, thanks, Leo. Has UNK ever worked a regular job? Yeah, he had normal jobs back when I used to hang out with him. He had, Yo, Tom got his mob on Twitter to come after me. All 6 of his fans. Should have a tag team match against him and UNK. Thanks, Megan. Yeah, having a job's cool. Who produces beats for you? And UNK back when you were a rap duo. I really want to know. A guy named Perp used to produce beats for us, and we used to grab most of them off of SoundClick. Swipe left. Swipe left. What's this right here? Approve. There we go. Tell us about UNK's mom. Oh, she's hot. Just joking. I don't remember what she looked like. I remember her being a sweet lady.
Yeah.
Woo! Oh,
What up, y'all?
It's crazy, eh?
Check this out. Check this out. Yo,
what did you do?
Don't fucking record this shit. I'm dropping it once this live's over. Fuck, I love all you.
Dude, this is getting posted.
Yo, what are we gonna do?
No. Holy. Woo!
How we run the underground.
Get the fuck out of here, man. Holy fuck. This is the oldest.
World
This is an old speech therapy song. What the fuck? That's funny. Where'd you find it?
Putting in work, I'm about to kick the dirt until I split the earth and you in the mainstream. You go and hit the surf, but if you run, homie, then it spit your verse. Yeah, tear up the sky, 20 different clutches.
Holy shit, dude.
The volcano erupts and all y'all are the fake ass labels and nuts. We straight bringing game, you ain't able to touch. And I got nothing to lose, so if I slip and fail, I'm a bust motherfucker.
This is too lit, man.
This is truth be told, I got a firm grip, kid, and I'ma never let go.
My God, yo. You're gonna have to post that shit for these people,
Yo, let's
man.
go
This
some
shit's
fucking
crazy.
zoo. Watch this, watch this. Hello. How y'all doing? Yo, what's up?
Yo,
Where's
thanks.
live stream? Yo, y'all got shoutouts for worldwide shoutouts? Yo, appreciate the shoutouts. Don't worry. Yo, we chilling at the shop, bro. He was on the cover of
Fuck
Double
yeah,
XL.
dude. Yo, you gotta get on.
This is the cover of next
Yo,
month's Double
Hinks.
XL because UNK can not only tell the future, he can rewrite the past. He's the only human known to be able to do this, but this is on last year's Double XL. But yeah, the customers are chilling. Yo, no div. One love. Let me get y'all some refreshments. You got a shout out?
Yo, Hinks. Hinks, get on the what's up, guys?
Yeah.
Hinks, you gotta get on the live stream
Lad,
tonight.
Unky putting us
Yo.
on the map, baby. Yo, hold up. We at the canteen in the skate park. Is there the kids order drinks? Is it soda?
Yo,
This
Hinks,
fucking
get on the
friggin'
live stream tonight,
microwave,
man.
this friggin' microwave makes more than a high school principal. We get our inventory from the dollar store. Not that, but like.
Yo, bro, get on the live stream tonight.
Right? It's yeah, that ain't much. When you're funny.
Sorry. I lost Hinks. I don't know. I lost him. Hinks, get on the live stream tonight, man. We're doing one from the studio. Yeah. Over the questions that were asked in the post I made, because there's just too many questions for me to like get on and respond to. My fucking phone died and shit. Interrupting Spyte is a meme. It is. And I know a lot of you guys think that our podcast is gross and offensive, but this isn't about my podcast. This is about Uncle Adam's. But either way, we're still trying to figure out what we're doing. So my buddy Joey was always sending me this fucking. My buddy Joey's always sending me this Uncle Adam's shit that he's doing, all his new stuff, because he thinks it's so funny and so like over the top, and it just pissed me off because it was so cheesy. And for a long time I wanted to like expose him like by like calling the fucking, I don't know, calling like the newspaper or something, because they were making articles about him like positive rapper and vagina and like trying to like uplift people. But you know that Curtis like wrote all of his own review, right? Like on his own fucking on his own webpage and for his own write-up, he's like one of the best rappers that ever lived, like fucking gonna be on the brink of being famous or whatever it says, you know what I mean? Because he believes in this whole like manifest your destiny thing. So you know, it was always pissing me off. I wanted to expose him publicly and do something, but I could never have like hoped for what has happened with this group being made and you guys like going hard, turning Curtis into a meme for fucking the last few years. Like, I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to put in any effort. It's amazing. You guys are incredible. I'm so happy he became a meme. Oh, my audio's out of sync? How out of sync are we talking here? So I'm holding my finger up right now, and now I'm not. So how long does it take for the audio of that to catch up? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Hinks has crazy Uncle Adam's stories. Like, if you guys got him to do a live stream, it'd be crazy. About 3 seconds out of sync? It's not too bad. Could be worse. Could be worse. Now it's 4 to 5 seconds. What can you do? Maybe I'll end the stream here soon and we'll do another one later tonight. So we'll probably be going on at like, I don't know, what time is it right now? It's like 5:30. So we'll probably be on at like 8 or 9 o'clock. So yeah, I'll do like I'll make a post on the page and it'll say it's like it's out of sync the amount of time that Curtis can hold a job or Unc can hold a job. It's hilarious. So yeah, well, we're in right now it's 5:30 Mountain Time, yeah, on the West Coast. So Vancouver time 9:30. It's probably won't be on. So he was doing a bunch of like tours at high schools and stuff, talking to kids about how to be positive and anti-bullying. He's like an anti-bullying activist for a while there. The paper wrote all about him. Has Unc ever been in a fist fight or something like that? I've never seen him in a fight. Yeah, no problem, man. Glad to make memories with you guys. Glad to add to the lore. Yeah, that people wanna. hear the Uncle Adams stories. He was banned for the drank bleach line. Shay drank bleach line. I don't know. Is that a plane? Yeah, that was a plane. She drank bleach. He had a line. Does Unk have a foot fetish? I don't know. I don't know. Probably. You are an apostle. I think that's a good thing. Thanks. So yeah, man, I'll be out of here in a couple minutes. If you guys got any last minute questions for me about Curtis, I'll be happy to answer them. Shot a moose. Is he a goblin? Yes, he's a goblin. He has goblin form. He can evolve. He can turn into a goblin at will. Have you ever seen his wiener? No, I haven't. You guys can holler at Bobby Joe about that. Thanks for doing this, no problem. Any stories about the pump? Yeah, there's stories about the pump. But the pump... Isn't the pump a country bar, though? I don't got stories with Uncle Adams at the pump. Was he good at picking up chicks? No. I'll tell you a story about him picking up chicks. One time we were at a classified show, and we opened for classified. And, you know, we were all doing pretty good that night, getting a lot of attention from girls, except for Curtis. And then he was flirting with this one girl. She was like a heavy-set lady, and she was really drunk. And she had a miniskirt on, and there was toilet paper hanging out of her butt. It was like pinched and just hanging out of the skirt. Like, we're talking like 5, maybe 6 squares. Shit was crazy. And I'm like, yo, Curtis, yo, she's got toilet paper hanging out of her ass. He's like, what? I'm like, yo, Curtis, come here, man. He's like, fuck you, man. Quit fucking trying to cock block me, he says. So we're like, fine, man. Go ahead. And she ended up not feeling him and fucking off. Toilet paper girl, yeah. Yeah. That was mentioned in my diss track to him, so I'll try and find the diss track. It's pretty funny. There's how'd it go? I said something about like, you're such a fucking ugly kid, you couldn't fuck the drunkest chick. Remember that time when we were at the Clash show, you were turned down by the fat chick with the toilet paper stuck in her asshole? The drunkenest fat hoe. What the fuck's that? Blah blah blah. I went on. That's good times. Yeah, it's good times. I said, go back and bust a rap when you went rapping like a hunchback and sucking on a nutsack. Those are, for the times, those are pretty good bars. Wasn't there a story about people throwing eggs or toilet paper or something at his mom's house? I think so. Okay, I'll accept Hinks one more time and I'm out of here. Hinks is about to go on screen.
Yo! Hey!
Yo.
Baby!
Hey.
First, I want to give you all a tour of the shop. This is kind of backwards. We're in the office. Hey, yo, Richie Rich. Holla at the...
Hey, hi.
That's Richie Rich. She holds it down here. She's selling hats, all that. Here's the hype beast. Small to tall, left to right, clockwise. You guys wouldn't believe the shop if you were here. Here's all the fucking
306 shop,
hats.
guys, in Regina. Hit it
Real
up.
Louis V, fucking bling blang,
Hey.
real gold. Gucci, fucking all that shit. Real deal. Every brand you can think of. Supreme department, back where Richie Rich was. Here's the skate park.
Sick. It's looking good now,
First time
man.
I've seen it empty in a long time. But yo, check it out. We got shoes too. Holla at your boy. All right.
Yo, Hinks.
Going back.
Yo, Hinks.
All right.
Tell us an Unk story, bro.
I'm not really one to tell, but
Come on, you got mad stories.
honestly, like the best one was when at the rap battle, it was in 2005 at the Hat, and I don't think you were in town or something, and Def 3 wasn't there, and he ended up in the final against Tommy Daw. And
Yeah, I was there.
it. I was hosting it, and I couldn't even believe Tommy Daw kept up to him for that long. And then they had to have overtime.
Yes, and it was for cash. And bro,
Yeah.
after
Okay, so
the
the
battle,
crowd
do you
was
remember what
cheering.
happened after?
Yeah. I had to sneak him out the back door, and he never even said thanks.
You snuck him
As
out.
soon as they knew he had the cash.
Yo, he had the cash on him, and he had a gun pulled on him. Right
And I
outside.
fucking grabbed him and fucking ran him out the fire escape. And his dad was there that night, and like they didn't even say thanks.
I think you pulled him in through the fire. I think you pulled him in through the one side door there where he was pinned up against the wall, and then took him out the back door or whatever, right?
Yeah, like he's so lucky. I was the one that found that. That could have been anybody. I'm nobody special. We're all equal. But just I had a way to neutral that situation for a split second to get us out of there.
Yo, that gun was a 44 Magnum, or like a 357. Like it was a big revolver.
I just remember like him jumping in a car, and I just went right back in the party, and I never really. Oh no, okay, this is how it unfolded though. The crowd was cheering for whoever won the battle. It was with crowd participation. Like, y'all make some noise if y'all think UNK won that round. And make some noise if you think his name was Strange One. Tommy Daw won that round, and the crowd was cheering louder for UNK. Like, and I was like, oh fuck, because really I thought Tommy. I was like, man, I want to give the like. I was rooting for the underdog because he's like, you know. And then I had no choice but to give fucking UNK the money, and they like said to me, they're like, yeah, man, sorry, like you did the right thing, and I don't know, and they weren't mad at me, but they as soon as they knew UNK had the cash, I just like kind of like handed them the cash and walked away. And like they were like, yeah, and I never thought about it, and then all of a sudden they like tried to mob them or something, and fuck, it was a big melee, and that was like every weekend for us. So that's like UNK's like worst case scenario that happened one time in his existence. That often happens to fucking dudes in the trenches every fucking week. Like just random scenarios. Not so much like firearms, but like just like random fucking shit that Adams has never fucking once been in the trenches of reality to fucking chew on and just like use his intuition to get out of it. Like you called it street smarts, but it's intuition. We can't learn that shit in fucking Harvard, and he can study fucking all his fucking I don't know. All I know is
positive bullshit.
I was fucking buying Hummers off that music shit and everything. As soon as I seen the game getting fucking sour, I was doing it since cassette tapes. As soon as I seen it, I was smart enough to be like, okay, I got to start selling other shit and figure out another way to make money. This motherfucker is so dumb to not even like attempt. Like when I first opened the shop, I was delivering pizzas to fucking keep the shop doors open because the music didn't pay anymore once the game got all fucked. When the internet or fucking iTunes or whatever the fuck happened, I don't give a fuck. I just love hip hop.
Yeah, man. Fucking A, dude. And that's true shit. He doesn't have the
All right, you want to see the funniest shit? Spyte, do you remember the outro of your track that we're about to leak?
For which one?
Speech therapy, it's called, I believe. It says on the fucking bootleg 20 times over. I don't even know.
It was an outro?
These tracks, but yeah, do you remember the outro? Well, anyways,
how'd it go?
Let me just finish. Okay, this is so funny. It's like an Easter egg within our Easter egg. It's such a long outro that anybody can literally kick a verse over the outro. Can I just sneak? Do you guys want to see a sneak peek of the video that we're going to leak after this live stream? Look how fucking hilarious this is. All I Googled was how to make a rap song. Watch it.
We live it down with nothing. Heavy percussion, bringing the bass line. Concussion, trying to take mine. Stay wise when you're talking to me.
Okay, so this is the end of the track.
Oh yeah, it goes on forever and ever. Yeah.
Wonder how we run the underground. We've been summoned down from rumbling thunder clouds. We stay rolling.
This is a fucking troll shit.
What the fuck?
Like, it's so funny.
What is that? Where did you find that?
No, really though. It's a fucking troll move. And And then he randomly says that. Like, it was like he always, okay, what I get out of that energy at the end when he just kicks a you guys will see when the song leaks after this live stream, he just fucking in the middle of a fucking beat, he just starts talking like, oh, trying to act cool and loud, right? It's the same, and it was like trying to outshine you on the track subconsciously. You didn't say anything, you didn't have a thing. He was shitting on the track with his screechy ass voice to fucking, like, I don't know, just to like get some fucking extra shine. He did the same shit in the basements of the parties when we were growing up. He wouldn't win the battles against you. He would just get fucking louder. Just like kind of like I'm doing, but we're not having a rap battle. He would get screechier and more belligerent and like more drunk. And then we just kind of like be over it and be like, hey, you win, buddy.
Yeah, he would get pushy and wild too. Especially, I remember me and him battled one time and he just got like so bent out of shape. It was because remember that night it was that same classified show, and at the end of it there was a battle between me and Infrared. Infrared wanted to battle for money, and there was like someone put up like $300 or $400 or something, or we both put up
Where was
$100
that?
and I won it. It was at the same show. It was at the classified show
Yo,
at the
bro, you know what's
Manhattan
crazy?
Room.
Remember when we filmed Crackhead versus Zombies? That still hasn't leaked, along with like 200 more raw fucking tapes, like from that era, like just video of the shows, of the battles, of the fucking belligerency. But anyway, I'm just so happy to see your face. You look just like a handsome gentleman in your aura.
It's good to see you too, bro. Fucking yo, that show, man. I battled Infrared for $200 and then I won. And then Gifted wanted to battle me and he had $500, but I didn't have the money. And then some random HA guy from the crowd put up the 500. And he said to me, "You better win." And I was like, "Okay." And I battled Gifted and I won. And I got his money. And then I gave the HA guy the money back. And as I was leaving, Uncle Adams is like, "No," grabs the mic. He's like, "I'm battling Spyte now. I gotta battle him." And I was like, "Yo, like
you did his voice perfect."
Yo,
It's like, "Yo, I gotta battle Spyte right now. Get up here, Spyte. Come on."
And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, he couldn't handle the fact I got some shine, man. He was so mad about it. And then we battled and he freaked out and then he won and he got the money. And he was, he was just like,
you should do like a fucking King of the Dot, like battling your own shadow or something, like, or not even like just like a fucking random, like fuck anywhere. Just do a fucking silhouette, like King of the Dot style. And then maybe like at the very start, like impersonate his voice like that, or like on the outro or something. Cause that was, man, you hit his fucking screechy key perfectly. Like, dude, better than he could. When you said that, you got to practice his fucking, like, pretend it's like Saturday Night Live. Like, this is like, you know, like how we talked about, like, this is kind of like a video game. Well, this will be like a fucking Easter egg where, like, if you can learn how to impersonate him, fuck, bro. Like, bro,
I'll take all of his potential YouTube money.
We should have a contest. Whoever can do the best UNK, like actual impersonation, wins like something.
I think I should do an overdub of one of his videos where I like
I'm
use his
uploading
video.
One of his tracks right now.
I use his video and the beat, but then I rap it in like, you know, with different words that sound like what he's saying, and then it looks like he's saying it.
Okay.
That'd be sick.
Yes. Or a cartoon, like a full-out cartoon about it.
Dude, I'll draw the cartoon Uncle Adams tonight.
Well, we got to make our moves strategically. We can't waste our energy here, right? We got to stay optimistic. We got to focus on the solution, not the problem, right? We have to get excited for the manifestation of boosting as a community. Our conscious synergy will provide just so much more energy. If we can all just get excited for it, it will come into fruition. I promise you full-heartedly, the more we can focus on the solution. And I know you're onto a few leads, and that's only recently, but I need you just to stay optimistic.
You got it, man.
Actually,
we're going to get this.
But on top of that, we need you to make a move here, too. We need you to add fuel to the fire. Like, something strategically intelligent and just fucking raw. Rochdale Raw.
Yes, Rochdale Raw, dude. Yo, let's do it, man. I'm ready. Let's go. I haven't been stoked about something like this and since the
Stop
RIP
calling me
champion.
shoehead. Do you know how much shoes I fucking had to sell to fucking get myself out of debt?
That's
Do
right.
you know how much stinky feet
I
I
mean,
smell all day to
you know how
fucking
many
keep a
shoes he's put on
fucking...
his head
Oh, I'm
for
not shoehead.
autism?
Who's shoehead? Why do they keep saying shoehead?
Because putting a shoe on your head for autism is like an internet meme.
Oh, we
Yeah,
actually have like after school programs, and real talk, real talk. Like I know the more we get back, the more we get back. I figured that secret out a long time ago. That's why I'm in these trenches down the street from Adam's shop, like fucking reaping it. But anyways, I'm not boasting. Um, we run after school programs funded by selling t-shirts, hats, and having rap battles in our skate park that's funded and made out of garbage. Anyway, the young adults who weren't coordinated enough to participate in the skate park, we came to a solution where we noticed they really liked the music, like especially local music and all stuff. So we started a DJ group once a week for the past decade for grown men with like mental illness such as FAS, autism,
yeah,
all the above, right? We're still
yeah.
doing that. Do you remember Luke?
So you're literally putting shoes on your head for autism.
Yeah,
I
like
remember.
real
I think
talk.
I remember Luke.
So let's not joke about that, but like all that shit, like your support and all that shit and good vibes, like goes far. Like people have no idea the fucking trenches we're in right now. Like it's so wonderful though. I haven't had
No
a day
doubt.
off since I seen you last, bro.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Just always going.
yeah.
That's
Feeding
good,
the
man. See, those are
fucking.
two things that UNK is trying to do that he can't do. One is make
It's not
money,
a
and
race.
two is a community outreach.
It's not a race, but like I'm just like, what's up, Richie Rich?
Okay, I got to get off of here and tell my
Put on
girlfriend
some
about all
Spyte.
this
I'm
shit because
about to
she's like,
change the music. Fuck, I've been trying to upload this video for like, oh shit, hella customers. Richie Rich, get in there quick, baby. Yeah, yeah.
"Yo, Hinks, yo, I'm jumping off of here because I got to see my girlfriend. She just got home a while ago. She's been waiting for me, but I'm gonna do another live stream tonight.
Yo,
Jump
just,
on.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you want to X me out or whatever and just say bye to everybody, but like, I really appreciate like chatting today and just,
Good,
it's
bro.
just nice to see like things go like full circle. Like, do you remember when they rushed my house when his nephew did that?
Mm.
You don't remember
Yeah.
that?
Mm. Well, I
You
know
don't.
who is his
That was
nephew.
when all the studios got broken into and shit.
Mm. What year
It
was
was
that?
fucked. 2008, and it was
Crazy. That's
still like
right.
peak.
Crazy. I didn't know his nephew did that. That's crazy.
Him and four of his buddies after the pump came to my house, kicked open the door. I trapped one of their arms inside the door like this. I was
Oh,
like,
that was when
"Holy
Perp.
shit!"
That's when Perp did
Yeah,
that and shit, right?
or
Is
they
that when
were.
Kelly's dog got fucked up?
That was another thing. Perp
Oh,
and
that's a
Kelly
different.
wanted to kill each other. They did that.
Yeah, they
No, that
did.
was a different event.
Oh, okay.
No, Perpat wasn't there that night. It was Uncle Adams' nephew was like the main guy, and he brought four of his buddies. They were drunk as fuck, and they like tried to kick open the door. Krista Johnson was there. She admitted to it, and Brandon Kissack, who is Unc's best friend, already got the screenshot of him like acknowledging that this is factual knowledge. Anyway, so I slammed his hand in the door, and I was like, "Fuck, man! Like, what am I supposed to do?" I was like, grab the handy cam and a weapon, and she fucking threw me the handy cam. Part of this event is on video in the safe, and the fucking battery went dead halfway through it. And anyway, so I started smashing his hand that was on the other side of the door, and it like mutilated his hand, wrecked the door. That's all I do is think about is when I moved away from this house is having to buy a new door and how pissed off I was about that. Anyway, that's a few years later. So that night I fucking punched his hand, and I just like I don't know, got him out of the house, and his buddies were like, "What the hell is going on?" Because he's screaming bloody murder. I'll never forget the sound, but I had to do it. These guys were home invading my house, and
Yeah.
And so he got banged up pretty bad over that. He like couldn't jerk off for like 6 months and he needed a surgery. And I felt terrible. Like I didn't want that to resort to that. Like I'm not a violent person. You've never seen me start a fight, right, Spite?
Hey, man. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Squeaky wheel gets the screechy grease. Uncle
That's
Adams.
right, man.
Anyway, he says that like so many cliche quotes that he thinks they're so witty, but they're just like fucking something like a boring teacher would say. Like it's fuck.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's
I don't
such
care.
a
He's
platitude.
perfect the way he is. I got no opinion. Anyway, this is a true story. So those guys finally left. Krista's like, what the fuck just happened? I'm like, holy shit. She called the cops, or the neighbors did. Cops show up. They're like, do you want to charge these guys? I'm like, honestly, like, I just want to go to sleep and get to work in the morning. So they're like, okay, they left. All of a sudden, I call uncle. I'm like, yo, buddy, what the heck? And like his dad used to be real nice to me, like, oh hi Andrew, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, hey sir, you know, friendly neighborhood. And after that event, Unc like went around talking shit like I did something wrong there. And he like fucking had all these opinions like formulated of his little fucking pussy pounder group of friends. And I was just like fucking whatever. And then all of a sudden this sprung up like 3 years ago. And I've been watching this for like a bird's eye view for like 3 years, like escalate. And then like a year ago, one of them reached out to me and I was kind of so busy. I was just like, whatever. And then man, there's like people waiting in the shop for me right now. Like, wow, like lined up.
Well,
Anyways.
let's get more of this story
Anyway,
tonight.
the
I'll be
thing
on
that
tonight.
it just fucking was a bunch of bullshit that like I was just trying to help make fucking hip hop, and you know that. Remember when we had the studio in the back of the old shop? But anyway,
Yeah, man.
that was after that. That was a sweet setup. We released some fucking heater mixtapes, hey bro, like Ghetto Platinum nationwide.
Yeah.
I don't even.
Yeah,
It's
I
like it
remember
never
that one
happened though.
specific.
Like that was before YouTube even. We had some of the first fucking independent rap videos on YouTube.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
not boasting about that. It's just a fact of fucking life. But anyways,
Back in
no look
infancy of
backs. Let's
YouTube.
just have a prosperous future. I hope everyone out there is just breathing in the positive healing energy and exhaling all the tension and hostility. Yeah, everybody's smiling, have a good
That's
time.
lit,
That's what
bro.
I'm talking about. All right, I gotta get back to work. Hey, yo, what up, yo? Oh, shit.
All right,
Let's see
brother.
what's going
Talk to
on.
you soon, man.
All right.
Peace.
Fucking awesome, guys. This has been great. This has been so great. I'll be on 9 o'clock or so. You guys later, man. Good times. Peace. Love you guys. This is awesome. Later.